one thing that I've done through my life is I drop pebbles though. Like, so
Mhm.
for example, building this business of Moved, as we started to kind of build, I'm like, if I start the podcast, it's like a pebble that just kind of keeps going, and then it's growing, and then eventually that thing, but you put it into focus, you play it out, and you just kind of move one needle forward. So it's like almost like there's other parts of your life that you're kind of like building a castle, but it's just kind of slow. You just
Yep.
chill. And then there comes a time when all of a sudden, let's say you've built whatever that account is for photography or whatever, at least you have a baseline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, that's a great point. Yeah, I just decide, if that's something I want to, set my intentions on or focus my energy on, that's fine. But I also, like, right now, I have a lot of free time, a lot of energy to do things what I want, when I want, with who I want, and I don't have to answer to anybody. Today was, probably about an hour and a half of work, and then it was pool time, and then reading, and, showering, getting ready for this. It's like, I'm one of those weirdos that I like pool time. I like the beach. Like, I like doing stuff that's not in front of my computer unless I'm like, I've set the intention of like, okay, there's something I want to do. And usually it's something. Right now, what has really happened over the past year is just only focusing on what brings me joy. And I learned that from my mentor, Travis Sago, of like, you know, like, spend your time on focused on what brings you joy. And like you're just saying about the pebble in the pond, that is the pebble in the pond. When you
Yeah.
focus on only what gives you joy,
Mm-hmm.
and then outsource everything else. Like Dan Sullivan, his new book that he did, I think it's the Who book, like Get Who'd
Mm-hmm.
Up, right?
Yeah.
Um, that all that stuff that completely works, but it's a transition. It's like, I think every new stage of entrepreneurialism, you're learning how to walk again, in that particular arena, in that particular area. And sometimes people want to take on the role of CEO. Some people want to take on the role of coach. Some people want to take on the role of the business owner. And I've been fortunate enough to be inside of a lot of these types of businesses at all different
Mm-hmm.
levels. And they're complex. From a standpoint, I say, just because of, whereas human beings, we're complex. And so I tend not to throw out too much judgment about what people should do, ought to do. It's like, hey, what do you want? Okay, what's the constraint that you're experiencing? And then in my mind, I'm asking, what's the assumption that they're making about how it needs to be fixed? And most of the time that assumption's wrong. So